So, getting absolutely rolled on tank, don't know what to do anymore, Plat 2. The past week, I've been getting steamrolled and I'm at a complete loss of what to do. I've watched so many videos on improvement, tank specifically, reviewed my own VODs, compared my games to pro games to figure out how to play more like them. But no matter what, I still feel like I'm playing like a 5-year-old with a keyboard in his mouth and a mouse lodged in his throat. I feel like every game I hyperfixate on taking space, but can really ever actually do it, or I'll just sit around like a deer in headlights. Okay, so my prediction, sorry, I'm stretching. My prediction is that you are way too impatient and you just troll the game and you go in and feed, or you sit around and do nothing. So those are just my predictions. And why is it already started? Hello? The fuck? Anyway, so I'm kind of gonna. Oh, I didn't bring it all the way down. I'm gonna watch you play and I'm just gonna see what's going on. So Ryan, you basically just find a corner and you sit on it until you see someone is vulnerable and then you pin on them. That's basically how you play this hero. Okay. Cool, we have a pick. This is awesome. So, like, already, we're just taking too much damage, right? Like you don't actually need to be going in and swinging here. You just need to be showing your presence, right? You know, be here and now just play the corner. Just sit here, swing. You need to let your team do stuff, right? The whole point of you playing Ryan is that you sit here, you take a bunch of damage, and your team can spread out and take angles. And what's going to happen is that when they take angles, the enemies are going to be forced to either shoot you or shoot the cast, or they have to back up to a worse angle, for example. So, like, let's say the Kiriko here. Cass peeks, he shoots the Kiriko. Kiriko has to either fight back Cass or shoot you, or she has to back up to avoid the Cass, but that's going to give the Cass more space to shoot more people, and then eventually someone's going to get distracted, and then you can go in and swing on them. But right now, you're taking so much damage pointlessly when you've got your shield to take that damage, that now your supports are going to have to perma help you. Your DPS are going to have to kind of just shoot the tank on this angle, and now they're not going to be able to do a lot, right? Like, right now, they're using a lot of cooldowns, and, like, this is great. But, like, you're getting very greedy. Like, you almost died there, but, like, you didn't die, so I will give you the benefit of the doubt. But, like, that is how you want to play around. It's like, you kind of did the right thing, like, conceptually. You just, in practice, like, you didn't need to take, like, this much damage, you know. Play closer to the corner, like, jiggle peek. Use your shield more so that you don't take as much armor damage, because, obviously, Reaper and Orisa, they're just going to shoot you a lot. But, like, you see how you're kind of just distracting them? And then, look, Shion's on the side, angle, right? Now she's taking, like, a really shit angle. Like, she could go behind them and get a really good angle here. But you can see the concept of how these guys are going to take angles to shad people, and then you can just kill them for free. And then, obviously, people are going to have to use their cooldowns and stuff, and they're going to get vulnerable. And that's where you can go pin in on them. But, obviously, I can't judge you just off of one game. Good try. I would have just pinned in here, right? So, like, your pin, you use it to get around the map quickly. And, like, one of those ways is if you see someone who is distracted and not paying attention, like, you see your team has gone in on the Genji, you go pin in on this guy, right? You just pin. Don't go for a 5-strike. Pin in, swing on him, and kill him, right? Because he's distracted. He's vulnerable. You see that? Because here, like, you almost didn't kill him, and you used both your 5-strikes. You would have got more value and easier value if you just walked on it. So here, so you don't want to use your shield until the fight's actually started. Like, you can use it to block, like, CC and stuff and big heavy damage, but you standing in the open like this for no reason, it's just wasting your resources. A lot of Ryan is just chilling behind the corner and not forcing out your health, not forcing out your armor, not forcing out your shield, because you need that shield to help you actually hold, like, angles and distract the enemies so that your team can take angles. The less shield you've got, by the time the fight starts, the harder it's going to be for you to actually do anything. Because, look, the fight hasn't even started. Nothing's even happened. They haven't even walked through the choke and your shield's gone. And, like, now, you're going to still try and hold this corner, but you can't because you have no shield. Right? Like, you're just not going to be able to hold this for that long. You're going to take a bunch of damage, your shield's broken, and then guess what? You die. Almost. You get lucky. I do like how we're holding corners here, though. We're 5-striking. This is good. Good stuff. Now, just like a little micro thing with Reinhardt, you don't necessarily want to swing into the choke. because then you're kind of going into the choke in the enemy's POV, right? Does that make sense? Like, all of them can shoot you. None of your team can shoot them. You want them to kind of walk through a little bit, and then you swing on them, because now all of your teammates can shoot them, and you're only going to get shot at by the one guy who walks through the choke. Does that make sense? It's just using LOS to not feed. So, I actually like this pin, right? So, this pin was pretty decent. Like I'd say it was a little greedy. You should have waited to get healed up first. Like, you shouldn't have gone for the pin immediately. Every time you go for a pin and it's, like, going into the enemies, you have to do a resource check. How much shield do I have? How much health do I have? Because if these guys were good, they would have immediately turned around and just killed you, because you die very fast. But I like the pin. You know, you may as well try and do something. Now, like, one could say you don't need to do it, but it's fine. Okay, I mean, you just swing on this guy here. Alright, just swing. Yeah, good. So now, when we get low like this, it's our job to understand something. Sorry. It's our job to understand something called corner flipping, okay? So playing on a corner is pretty simple. You just sit there and you swing your hammer. But when you get low, you need to back up a corner so that you give the enemy space, but it stops you from dying. Because what's going to happen is that if you get low here, and you stay here, the enemies are going to push you, and then they're going to kill you because you're there, right? But if you get low and you back up a corner, they now have to go through another bit of open space to kill you, right? And that means it takes them a little bit longer to get to you, and it gives your team more time to shoot them, right? Does that make sense? Because, like, to get from here, they have to go for an open space to get shot at, and then they have to get to this corner. And to get from this corner to this corner, they have to go through this open space. They can get shot at. That takes time. If they want to get from this corner to this corner, they have to go for open space to get shot at. You use these corners as, like, kind of like chokes to stop the enemies from going through, but like, you also have to know what corners you want to back up to next, so that when you get low and your resources are down, you can survive and keep holding a corner, right? Because it doesn't necessarily matter what corner you're holding. You just want to hold a corner, because here, because you didn't back up, because you weren't paying attention, you got flanked by the Mora, right? Now here, this is just kind of a lack of situational awareness. Like, you see, like, where she's going, and like, you just don't turn around in time, and like, that's whatever. So pinning back, obviously, like, mechanically, you should just have this rollout kind of, like, known by now, and you should just know where to go, but that's okay. Okay. So we come back. See Reaper there. You want to stop them from getting the point. So this is good. This is good. Right? Because now we're shielding and we're actually in a fight. And this gives our team time to set up. Now, unfortunately, in Plat, your team is not going to take angles. But that's okay. Because, like, they can still shoot people. It's just going to be harder. Good shot. Okay, so if you pin multiple, never go, or shatter multiple, never go for the pin, because if your team doesn't shoot the guys on the floor, none of these guys die, right? You get lucky you're cast high noons here, but your job, if you get shatters on multiple people, you just swing on them. If you shatter one guy, of course pin him, because then the burst damage is then going to help you get the kill, or it's going to kill them, right? But if you shatter multiple like this, you like you could have thrown this fight, right? If the cast didn't kill the Mora, she builds up ult, you know, then the Reaper goes for a flank and then kills your team, right? Like, it's just good nature to swing on all of them. Now, like, you get lucky that your cast popped the Deadeye. I assume you should win this round. Okay, cool. So I mean, like, you started off really well. I wonder how you lose here. So yeah. Your only two mistakes is that you didn't back up a corner. So like, when you get low, you want to back up so that you don't die, and you want to keep holding corners so that you can get your resources back. The second mistake is that you kind of shield and take a bunch of damage when you're not actually blocking anything helpful. Like you need to shield stuff in the fight, right? Obviously you can shield some stuff, right, just to stop your team from dying or something, but like in fight you want to have a lot of your shield. And then the next thing is that you don't want to be taking so much damage when you swing a corner, right? You want to sustain on that corner for as long as possible. Good fire strike. Good fire strike. Cool. This is cool. We swing a little bit. You can just keep swinging on this guy until he gets you low. But here, you overextended like a little bit, right? So the thing with Ryan is that you need to be very careful with, like, where you walk. You really don't want to overextend. right? And you don't really need to overextend. Ryan is like, okay, you want to walk into this room. No, no, you can't. The second you walk into the open space, you're now giving them the advantage because you're in the open. You can't reach them, but they can shoot. They can shoot you for free. And also, you've gone so far, like past the choke, that your team can no longer help you. If you just sat in this room, you stop the enemies from walking over here, and you can walk over here and contest this choke. You don't need to fight these guys, right? As Ryan, it's very important to just gather info on what's happening in the game. If you were paying attention, you could have seen the Domina and maybe gone for the pin over here, hit her against the wall, she gets shot by a bunch of people, and then maybe you kill her, right? A very important thing when you're playing Overwatch is gathering information and not always trying to do stuff. Your issue here is that like you're doing stuff, like you're not seeing the actual like game being played here, and then you're like, oh wow, I'm super isolated, and then guess what, you die. Just sit over here, look around. Okay, team is here, team is here. Where can my team help me? Because you as Ryan is going to get the most value when your team can shoot people that you are distracting. Your team can't really shoot anyone over here. Does that make sense? So just stay here, look around, like gather info, and hold the corner where they're trying to go in the most. If they're trying to go in over here, swing on these guys, right? They're committing the Domino Shield. Go swing on these guys, right? If they're trying to get in the room, swing on them. Because now you just overextend and you probably die. Yeah. So that, obviously, the mistake is that you just overextended a little bit past the corner. You really want to go past the corner, especially if you're like technically you were the ones holding point there. You don't even need to go like anywhere. Just like hold the corner, chill. You could go for a pin here. I would go, look, maybe this is stupid. If I see all of them gathered up over there, I would just go for something. Is it like the best play? No. But like none of them are paying attention. This is a really good time to use pin. And like even if you get one kill here, you can get back faster than they can. And like, you know, it's a high risk, high reward thing. But obviously, like, don't go for the pin now because they know you're there. But the idea is that is what I would have done. It's like here again, we're just kind of taking shield damage for no reason. Like, you don't want to swing when we're already low because that's just gonna force like your health. Like your 500 health, just get healed. Maybe move to a different corner. Like, you swinging here is you taking unnecessary damage when your team can't even do anything. You need to turn around and see what your team can do. Because right now, you're just taking damage for no reason, and no one on your team can follow up. If you did this, like now, your cast can take this angle, and then you distract the enemies. And then guess what? He takes the angle, but then guess what? When he takes the angle, you're not there to also follow up on that distraction. So that's your fault, because you're just taking so much damage so early that you just can't help. And I can't speak right now. And the reason why you're doing this is because you're not paying attention to what's around you. For example, if you sat on this corner and then turned around, you would have seen the cast going over here. You would have seen your shield isn't able to help you. You would have seen your supports are kind of far back. And then you would have gone, okay, cast is going on the angle. Let me wait for him to get close. And then let me distract for him. And then he's going to take the angle. And then that situation is going to happen where he peeks the angle. And then you get those three choices. Shoot cast, but then you swing on them. They shoot you, Cash shoots them. Or, because they don't want to deal with both of you, they back up and give you space. And then you take a corner. And then your team gets more angles up here. They get the left. You get to sit on main, right? Or like do whatever it is you want to do. You have to play in sync with your team, right? You're doing this thing where you take a bunch of damage, and then you hide, and then your cast has to take an angle. This is your fault. You need to do stuff together. Because like you distracted all of them here. And that was really good. But look at what happens when this cast takes the angle here. Right? Like, oh, Ryan's going in. So now, sure, he probably could have rolled in and gone on the angle sooner. But we're not playing Cass. We're playing Ryan. So like, we can't control what our team wants to do. This is such a good angle from Cass, but it gets spoiled because you're not there to follow up. Everyone turns around. This is when you could just pin in and like just fucking swing, right? They don't necessarily have a lot of CC to kill you, right? So like, you could just go in and kill them. But like, guess what? You have no resources because you're a fat, useless chud. So we just need to chill. Stop taking damage. Stop, like literally stop taking damage. Stop. Sit here and just stop. Let your team take angles. Let your team heal you. Your team is going to take angles. And then by the time you're healed up, then that's when you can go in and do stuff. Stop taking damage. Stop taking damage. Stop taking damage. Stop. Yeah, you just saw this fight. Right? You keep taking damage when you don't need to. You take damage way before a fight starts for no reason. And then a very important thing for tanks is that if you're low, don't keep trying to engage. I call this the tank limbo zone, right? Where it's like you're low resources, but like you still want to go in. So it's like you can't go in because you have no resources, but you're trying to go in. So it's like you never actually get your resources back. So you're stuck in the limbo. Tank is like, I'm all in with my resources. They dwindle, they dwindle, they dwindle. Okay, I have no resources. I'm all out now. So now I chill, right? You are doing this thing where you're trying to go in, and then you die. And again, we're just taking damage for no reason. Our team is not even anywhere able to help us, right? Just sit here, sit behind the corner, look around. Oh, okay, my team isn't set up yet. Let me wait for them. And then when they set up on this angle, that's when you can swing in. That's when you can pin over here. I'm talking about pin. I don't like what you did here. Again, we're just going in too early. Who on our team can help us right now? No one. Farah's on a pretty decent angle, but like you didn't know that, right? And this pin, it's too early. You're too impatient, right? Like you see someone in a corner, but like you have to remember it's Kiriko. She can TP away. Wait for your team. Like play on the corner. Your team is going to take this angle. Farah's on this angle. You're going to get healing over here. Wait for them to do stuff. Let them do stuff. Let them shoot their guns. And then when people are more vulnerable, more killable, that's when you can go and pin, right? But right now, you can see that every single person on their team, other than Junk, is paying attention to you and shooting you. So guess what? You're just going to go in a feed. And then, and then you die, you know? So right now, your issue, it's actually a good issue to have because it's easy to fix. You're just too impatient. You need to, one, gather info on what is actually happening around you. Where's my team? Where's the enemy team? How much health do I have? And then actually play around that. If you're low, hide behind the wall and get healed, right? Pay attention to like what your team is doing. So like this is fine. Fighting this guy is fine. Why? Because your team is here to help. They can actually help you with this. Right? So now holding your shield, I mean, like now holding your shield is pretty decent because your team can actually walk and shoot people. Your Farah can walk and take an angle, right? So now you holding your shield here, distracting the enemies is actually helpful because your Farah can get impact. And then guess what? They have to back up. You've just taken space for your team. Good shit. But now I don't want you to squander it. Again, you see how here you land a really good shatter, right? Really good shatter. You get free, right? Your options are, one, if you're taking too much damage or if you have low health, and you have kind of low health, you just hold your shield and then guess what? Your team can shoot the enemies for free. Or if you're confident you're not going to die walking on these guys, just walk on them. Cleave them with your hammer. You can hit multiple people with your hammer. You do know that, right? Just cleave them. Boom, 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 and then kill them. Or you can do the fire strike thing where like you fire strike this guy, fire strike, swing, they die, and like swing on these two. And then you don't waste your pin. And you like, cause like there's a there's a possibility where like, you don't kill all of them here, right? Now like you do kill all of them, but there's a possibility where you don't. Like there's no point not just swinging on these guys, right? So again, we're just okay. I want you to look, so like right now, right, no one is here, right? You are shielding nothing. Just sit behind the corner. If they walk up to you, swing on them, but be paying attention to what your team is doing. Your shield is only good if your team can also shoot the enemies. Why? Because like, think about it. You're holding shield so that the enemies look at you. Why? So that they don't shoot your team. But what's the point if none of your team is using the shield, like in the way of actually shooting through it to not take the damage, or using the distraction to take an off angle, right? No one on your team is doing that, but you would know that because you're not paying attention. You're not trying to gather the info. And now, guess what? You're taking a whole bunch of damage. Boom, shield's gone. And then look, when the fight actually starts, when people actually close distance, guess what? You have nothing. And now you're gonna die, right? Like literally all you had to do was see them come forward. Okay, turn around. Oh, I can't really hold this. Let me corner flip, not use a bunch of resources, and then guess what? You would have all of your shield, all of your health, and then if the Domino pops ult, right click, hold shield, and you just block it. You are too impatient. You are trying to do too much, and it makes you lose. Reinhardt and tank in general, you do not need to do everything all of the time. You hold this corner, you look around. This is like the ideal vision, right? You hold this corner, look around. Okay, yeah, I mean, my team can't really help me. I don't really want to play. Okay, let me back up to this corner. Why? Just because it gives my team more chances to take angles so that they can help me, or like back up over here, like wherever you want to back up to. But you can't do any of that because you're fucking dead, right? So again, we're too impatient and we take too much damage before the fight or during the fight. We take damage in a bad way and we don't let ourselves get healed. And like this is, and like you're typing at people. Don't type at people. You suck, right? And like this is just a symptom of not playing corners good enough, like by actually holding them and not taking damage and corner flipping, and you're just not gathering enough info on what is going on around you, right? Like I've not seen you turn around one time to like what your team is doing. Okay, you did there, good. Now, this is an opportunity, potentially, to go pin in, like, over here, right? Now, I don't know what the plan was there. I don't know what the plan was, I'm gonna be honest. This is fine. This is fine. Why? Because your team is actually here. So you could walk in and start swinging and start shielding. And guess what? Your team is actually going to get value, which means they're going to take a bunch of damage. I mean, obviously the shield's up now, but like they can shoot the shield. They're actually going to get put in danger. Deflect, shield, you know, heal up, right? Like cooldowns are being used. Value's being output. And guess what? Because you're syncing this with your team, Farah can take the angle, shoot people when they're not paying attention. Your teammates behind you, I don't know why they're all stacking on you. This is ridiculous gameplay. This guy's not even using his TP, but I mean, look at the pace he's taking, you know, right? Like your team behind you can use the shield to, you know, to actually shoot people. Now, just like one thing, never let your shield break. You never let your shield break. You know, let it get to like 200, like 100 health, let it regen. Because if your shield breaks, 5 seconds of no shield is basically just guaranteed death. And here, again, you see how mid-fight, you're down resources. You can't fight this. So what are you trying to do? You're going in that tank limbo. You don't want to go in the tank limbo. Because you can't even engage these guys, and you know it, right? Because you have the resources. But you still try to engage them. Which means you're in this limbo of, like, you can't do anything to the enemies. But your team has to perma-pocket you. Because you're taking so much damage. You're fucking feeding. And then guess what? Your team has no resources and you end up dying anyway. You need to chill, but you need to chill in the corner, get value, resources are gone, chill behind the corner, get resources back, and do that in a constant loop. You do not want to play in this limbo zone where it's like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to swing, but I've got 200 health and shield, and it's like, no. Also, if you want the win con to beat this comp, you just take the high ground. That's the win condition. You just take the high ground. Pin over here, you know, like go over here so that your team has space, and then as your team gets close, walk on the point. They're gonna go on the high ground, and you just win the game. That's the win con for your comp here. Because you have Bat, Ash, and Ryan. Like, there's no reason for you to be playing in this open space and just getting shot by Jump. Especially because I have a Domino as well. Okay, go swing on this guy. Good. Like, there's not much to say because, like, the way you're playing is like you're taking a bunch of damage, but like you're also not doing anything. I would prefer you to just sit on a corner, maybe swing a couple of times, like maybe fast strike a bit, bait the enemies into paying attention to you, and then just letting your team take angles. And then when they take angles, they're gonna distract the enemies. That's when you can get active. You're just too impatient, man. That's the truth. You're just way too impatient, and like you're just trying to do too much stuff instead of just playing corners, chilling, letting your team do stuff. And against Domino, by the way, if she places down a shield, just go pin somewhere else. Again, we're just taking so much damage for no reason. Damage. We're just taking damage. And we're just taking damage. The reason why this is bad is because our BAP has to use his resources to help us when we don't even need help, but we're forcing out the help. Do you understand? And now the BAP has no lamp, he has no shift, he can't help his Mizuki, he can't help his DPS take space, he couldn't lamp the Cass, because guess what? His fucking Reinhardt is playing like a chud, and it's just taking a bunch of damage for no reason, right? Now, I think this was a mechanical misplay. I think he was scared that you were going to get tired instead of this guy. But it's like, you're taking so much damage that it's like, he feels like he just has to lamp you. Stop taking damage! Go behind the corner. Heal up. Pin over here. You're just taking damage for no reason. Stop. 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 Heal up. Stop. Okay, now we can go do stuff. Turn around, okay? This is where my team is. Move to the next corner. Move over here. Move over here. You know, like, go piece by piece. Don't try and do like everything at once. And again, this is your win con. Get over here so that your team can walk, they take the high ground, and then you win for free, okay? But obviously, you're a Plat player, so, like, you don't understand what a win con is, and you're just going to barrel it down, mate. And that's okay. Big shadow. Now again, you have this weird issue with shadow where you pin in. You need to curb that habit. Do you see how dangerous this is? Again, the choices that I gave you. If you feel like it's too dangerous to go in and swing, just hold shield, let your team get value. Right now, obviously in this case, they're not going to be able to get a lot of value. Why? Because Ash is trying to make the good play. But just like these pins are so stupid. Stop pinning in when you shatter. It's so stupid. Just get the value, hold shield. Oh, okay, they pop Colt. Let me go behind the corner. Because like, this is just stupid. You're like, look, my verdict for you is that you're too impatient, okay? So here are some things that I want to give you that you can practice, okay? Number one, I want you to play corners better and don't swing into them. Don't take as much damage for no reason unless your team is able to follow up on the enemies being distracted, right? Number two, I want you to kind of understand and practice corner flipping. You don't always have to hold one corner. You can hold the upper corner, and then if they push you out, back up to the next corner. If they go backwards, you go back to that corner, right? Because this is going to help you do more damage. It's going to help you take less damage. It's going to stop you from dying. And then I'd say number three, and this is the big thing, you need to play more patient. Play corner, look around. What is actually happening? Because you knowing where, like where your team is, you knowing where the enemies are, this is going to help you dictate what choice to make, and it's going to help you make a more like informed decision based on what's happening around you. It's also going to help you stop taking as much damage. And then what this is going to do, if you're not taking as much damage, your supports can do their own damage. Your supports can take angles, and your DPS can take angles, and your supports can help them take angles. And guess what? When your team takes angles and you're still distracting the enemies, they're going to have to make that choice. Do they shoot you but get shot at by your team? Do they shoot your team and then you swing on them, you pin on them, that's your value? Or do they back up and give space, right? You want them to make those choices, but you're not making them make those choices because you're just walking forward, taking a bunch of damage. Your DPS can't take any angles because they have no supports. Why do they have no supports? Because their supports are helping you. That's not how you play tank. But anyway, I hope this helps. If you want more coaching from me, you can go check out the first link in the description. It's a coaching call, and if you'd like to work with me for a month, and I can help you work on all of these issues, and I can turn you into a better player, check out the second link in the description. Check out the premium option. I'll give you a 4 months coaching. You get access to all of my courses, all of my hero guides, all of my mentality guides. You can go check that out. And if you just want like a VOD review, you don't like talking to me because you don't like my, you don't want to speak to me. Third link in the description. I do VOD reviews. I do in-depth VOD reviews just like this. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. See you guys in the next one. Peace.